All right. Well.
Turn right on Lake Road.
But I'm definitely going to need to get new EGR valves down the road.
Lake Road. Washington 124.
Are we all? Sort of. We're sort of fixed. I am going to need extremely. Yeah, I'm buffering. That's because out near my dad's place, I don't get that great a signal.
Turn right on Washington 124.
And I just realized I'm going to have to pull over here and fix something in a second because I forgot to do something here.
Washington 124.
Which I know there's a place to pull over down here. Out in the boonies. Yeah, kind of out in the boonies.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn right on US 12 West.
All right. Here we go. I just got to step out and fix my back step. I'll be back in a minute. She appears to be all working. Just losing boost from those EGR valves. Off into the wild blue yonder. All right.
Turn right on US 12 West.
Yeah, turn right. I know. Oh yeah, I'm losing a lot of boost that way. Darn it.
Continue on the current road.
All right. Those big piles that we just drove by right there at the end of the bridge, those are all wheat. Oh, well, see, these diesel engines have turbo boosters on them. What it is some of the exhaust gets piped back through to build more pressure um, into the cylinders. And the whole system works through those EGR valves. That also helps the engine produce more power without using less fuel. So I'm going to lose more fuel mileage. I'm going to be losing fuel mileage a little bit here. So that's not a good thing. Basically, it means that those EGR valves are leaking exhaust instead of piping it back through. Because right now I'm sitting at 15 psi on the boost, and I should be sitting at 30 psi. So I've lost half my boost. Nothing I can do about it unless I replace those EGR valves, and you know they're not cheap. The dealerships don't even have them. They can't get them. The manufacturers that make them aren't making them right now because they're still busy making the stuff for the newer trucks. Because originally, during this lockdown stuff that we went through, those companies that make those products were considered non-essential. Right now, I can only find them in one place, and that place only has 8 of them. I need 2 of them, and they are not cheap. They're going to be about $500 a piece. . 'Cause 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 'C That's how much. They're going to be about $500 a piece. Yeah. I didn't have any. I don't. I don't really have any time left to really mess with it right now because I have to start hauling loads in order to be able to keep going, and keep that money coming in. Because if I don't start hauling loads now, I'll go under. So nobody wants that, right? And yeah, maybe it might be the same thing that Freedom Ford had an issue with, but Freedom Ford's little truck is just that. It's a little truck. The parts for it and the parts for that engine and the EGR system and everything that's on it are far more available and far cheaper than what I've got here on this truck. Because this is a big semi truck. Freedom Ford's truck is just a pickup, or actually more or less an overgrown pickup. Completely different kinds of systems on it. Yep. Well, everything that's happening right now is all completely by design. They've they've definitely had all of this stuff planned for so long. Between the water shortages, the fuel prices, chopping down the freight rates, food shortages, everything, all of it. It's all by design because there are no real shortages. It's all been man-made. Now, if anybody sees, I think it was Dick the other day said that they sent me a donation on using this. Yeah. Like I was saying, if you donated to my Zelle and your name is not Jeff, or your account isn't named, it doesn't have the name Jeff on it, then you want to double check that, because I didn't get it unless your name is Jeff, and that's on the Zelle. All of the ones that came through Cash App, I'm pretty sure I got all those, and I appreciate it. It helped out quite a bit. That's what I just did. I just repeated it. If you donated on Zelle and your name is not Jeff, then I did not get it. I shouldn't be buffering at all. I got a full strong signal. I shouldn't be buffering at all. Like I said, if your name is not Jeff and you donated through Zelle, I did not get your donation. So you need to double check it. If you donated on Cash App, I got it just fine. Thank you very much. Spent all day trying to find a load. There's nothing. There are no loads moving out of the Northwest right now. None. So I'm just going to move over to Seattle and hope for the best come morning. Yeah, I'm not going to go that way. That way takes me further into BFE where I don't have a signal. I'm going to try and hold the signal as much as possible today, just in case. All right. Let's see. Gotta love this place. All of these houses and everything you're seeing. When I was growing up, this was nothing but empty fields. GPS is a dictatorship, huh? Yeah? But you notice I ignore it most of the time, right? Realistically, I only turn it on and program it so that I know exactly when I'm going to be somewhere. That's the only thing I use it for, is knowing exactly when I'm going to be somewhere. Besides maybe finding the odd place to park a truck if it's an area that I don't know anything about.
Right, I-82 west.
Yeah, we had a lot better, because we'd be out here in these empty fields with the 4x4s and, fire pit and the whole nine, just having fun. Now there ain't no place left to do that. And if you ever lived in this area, the out in Pasco, Road 68 and Road 100 were big areas for us to go play in. And I don't know about Road 100, but I know Road 68 it's all big box store businesses and residential now. I heard they were planning on doing the same thing with Road 100, which means they're gonna make sure we can't use clutch burner out there anymore. And that was the funnest hill in the area. The hill was called Clutch Burner because people would commonly burn their clutches out, mainly because it's made of sand. It's a giant sand hill.
Continue on I-82.
We're looking at 91 degrees right now, which is better than it was this weekend. This weekend we were sitting at 110 most of the weekend here. Our temperatures here have been higher than Phoenix, Arizona. And again, yeah, even here it's a dry heat right here. Humidity here. With that being said, those temperatures are not abnormal for this area. They may say on the news that we've got record temperatures, blah, blah, blah. No, I grew up here. Those are normal temperatures for the summertime here. You can tell me all you want that those are record highs. I know for a fact they're not. Because I remember several years in a row, we'd right at the end of July, early August, we were hitting 126 degrees. Don't tell me we're breaking records. Yeah. So I finally got you those pictures there, sillies. I hope you appreciate them. I hope at least one of them comes out good. Now, odds, we're going to have a meeting here soon because I'm fixing to make a big change. I was on the phone today with somebody from a magazine, and we're looking at becoming an affiliate. For now, we're gonna start out as an affiliate because I can't. I don't have the money to be able to pay for the membership to become a partner at the moment, but those days are coming down the road. For now, we're going to become an affiliate of this. Get the email packet in, but by doing promoting us, it's going to be good. Hello, Jen. How are you? At least I don't have too many trolls in here for you guys, right? So did you catch what I said about becoming an affiliate to a magazine there, Jen? Rosie Rowe, if she's on here, she's got some of the information as to who the magazine is and all that. If anybody remembers, the poet, we had that poet that was with us in the People's Convoy. He has a magazine company, and we're going to become an affiliate of that. I think Jen has a crush on Silly. She put out those hearts twice. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. Yep, that is amazing news. So, like I said, though, pretty soon we're going to have a meeting, like a conference call between me and all the moderators, so we can get everybody on the same page. I think I'll get the majority of the information after I fill out the affiliate packet. I'm glad to see everybody here. Good news is the truck is running again and not leaking coolant. Bad news, the EGRs are leaking exhaust, which means I'm losing turbo boost, which means I'm burning more fuel per mile than I should be. So I do need to replace those EGR valves, and they are not cheap. But that's not going to stop me from running for now, unless a DOT officer has a hissy fit over it, which, you know, that's hit or miss, right? Yeah. Somebody needs to teach me how to put together a wish list on Amazon that can be shared public lockdowns. And now that they're back up and running, they're only running at like a skeleton crew, and they're having trouble even keeping up with the stuff that's needed for the brand new trucks. So they're not even looking at making the EGR valves for this truck for quite a while. And on the other news is, you know, I'm going to head over to Seattle this evening because there is absolutely no freight moving anywhere in the Northwest right now. So my best bet is to get into Seattle and hope that I can grab the first thing that pops up in the morning. Dixie Misty, if you're in here, I don't know if it was you that said you were trying to send me a donation on Zelle. If it was, if the account that money came from does not have the name Jeff attached to it, then I did not get your donation. The only person the only donation I got on Zelle was came from an account where the first name on it was Jeff. So if anybody else donated by Zelle, I did not get it. You need to double check it and make sure that it actually sent out. And if it did, you need to figure out how you can get it back from whoever you sent it to. Let's see, is that book right here? There it is. Easily within reach. There we go. Got it. So, does anybody remember? Let's see here. Does anybody remember this book? "1984" by George Orwell. It's come to my attention recently that not only are we literally kind of living in 1984, the book, but the book itself and the movie are being pulled from store shelves and out of libraries. It is being banned slowly and privately, quietly, along with many others. There's a couple of books by Judy Blume that are now being yanked out of the shelves. So basically, anything that has any kind of semblance to what's happening right now, and the state we're living in, and the possibility of what's coming in the future from right now, all of those books are being yanked out of the libraries, yanked out of bookstores, yanked off the shelves everywhere. So you might want to go book shopping before it's too late. Exactly, Italian princess. Exactly. You know, several more countries today, well, over this last weekend, have erupted into protests. Germany's in full swing. Denmark's been in full swing for a while. You've got several more of the Eastern European countries have gone into full swing now, including New Zealand. Australia has already been in full swing with their protests, but this is worldwide. It's not just here in America. It is not just in Canada. This is a worldwide freedom movement for the people, for what's right for humanity itself. And I'm telling you, I don't care what group it is that's fighting for freedom. You can fight for freedom all you want. You can fight for everything that you want. But the moment that you start attacking another group that is also fighting for freedom, in any way, shape, or form, when you start attacking them, you lose all credibility. Because every single human being on this planet deserves the same rights, deserves the same treatment. Does not matter who or what they are. It doesn't matter where they come from. Doesn't matter what they may have done in their past. Now, if somebody did something very vile in their past, that's fine. They served their time. They are a free person, man or woman. They're free. They paid their debt to society. Whether or not they're going to reoffend in any way is on them. But it is also not anybody else's business other than knowing that they are present. By knowing they're present, don't give them a chance to reoffend. But don't turn around and tell them they can't be part of the same freedom movement as you simply because you disagree with what they did in their past. I'm not advocating for those kind of people because I personally would like to see them all underground. That's my opinion. But in reality, they're still alive, they're still a human being, and they still deserve the same rights as everybody else. Because it's no different than telling one child of yours that they deserve all the rights and privileges granted to them by just being a human. But then your next child, you don't give them an inch. What's the difference? They're both human beings. If the justice system has deemed them safe to be back out in public, then we have to deal with it. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean we have to treat them like crap, but it also doesn't mean we have to take our eyes off of them either. What did you miss? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Talking about how some groups are attacking other groups simply because they may not like one of the other. You should not be out there attacking any other freedom movement just because you think they're in your way, or you think that they don't have the best interests like you do. This is not about you. So, Rosie Rowe. Rosie Rowe, if you, buffering. If you don't mind, fill everybody in on what magazine this is that offered me an affiliation this morning. They also offered me a partnership. I was on the phone with Karen for quite a while. I'm not in a position right now where I can afford the partnership yet, but that's coming quickly. So go ahead and let everybody know what magazine it is and who it's attached to. You know, let them know the details that you know. Because right now I'm driving and I haven't got the email from her yet. So, but like I was saying before, the freedom movement that is going on worldwide, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. It is not about what you want. It is about what the people of the world want, period. So it doesn't matter if you are in one group fighting for freedom and you think that this other group is fighting for it in the wrong way. It's not your place to judge. It is not your place to go and attack them because you think they're in your way. What you should be doing is out recruiting more people on your side and growing your movement. If you're not willing to work with any other freedom movement simply because you disagree with something on their side, you're in the wrong if you hinder them or attack them in any way. Because what you are doing is putting a slow damper on the movement in general, including your side of it. Everybody needs to figure out how to put down their egos and come together. Because it's going to take everybody, not just you, not just one little group. Because this is not about you, it's about everybody. And I hope everybody understands what I'm saying. It's not about your church. It's not about your God. It's not about the way your church sees things versus the way another church sees things. It's not about any of that. So, how is everybody today? What's the weather like? What's your temperature in your area? Give me Give me a good calculation of what the temperatures across the country are right now. Because I know all of you are from different parts of the country. Yep. Yeah, I don't have a link to them right now. So if anybody else can find a link to that, uh, the America's Convoy magazine, uh, go ahead and post it up because we are becoming affiliates to that magazine. I do believe the guy's name is William the Poet. He was with the People's Convoy for most of it. I met him personally several occasions. He's a great man, nice man. Uh, he's the one that's in charge and running the magazine. So we're gonna be an affiliate, and after some time, we'll look at becoming a full partner. Um, it's just gonna take a little bit of finances to get there. I don't have a Facebook. I do not have a Facebook. I have not had a Facebook in a long time. I used to have one before the last election cycle, and it got taken away the day after the election. It was given back. Well, it wasn't given back. I was told I could have a new Facebook, but I couldn't have my old one shortly after the first of this year. So I had signed up on it, and I started it back up. But as soon as I started posting any of the content from the People's Convoy, they took it away again. So, I'm done with Facebook. I will never go back. What purpose does it serve to silence voices of any kind, especially those that are on the scene and showing on live video the truth of what's going on? You know, that doesn't serve anybody. That's full censorship. And it's wrong. And I will not support it in any way, shape, or form. Shelly Cobb, hello. And Kylene is in there. Italian Princess is in there. Silly's in there. Jen's in there. Who all else is here? Kathy Schwartz. Violet. Rosie. Oops. That's what I'm doing. Looks like the gang is all here. Right? So. Well, the name of the magazine, I believe, is America's Convoy. America's Convoy magazine. I do believe that's the name. I will call you as soon as I know anything more. I've already made agreements with Karen. I've got an email that I'm waiting to come from her, and then I'm going to fill out the packet that she sends me for the affiliate side, and we're going from there. Okay? There's not really much other than the magazine. Minutes there. I wish I had a teleporter. That would make life so much easier. Thank you, Silly. The American Convoy Magazine website, Silly just posted that up there in the chat for everybody. Go ahead and take a look. It's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a good thing. And maybe it'll get the alphabet soup off my back. Because apparently they still don't like what I'm talking about on my live streams. Because they're still harassing people around me. Oh yeah, definitely missing a lot of turbo boost there. Otherwise, I'd be up and running hard already trying to get around this guy. It took longer to get up to a passing speed. Trucker G's are live. The G's have just gone live. Too bad I'm live right now. I love watching them. They're great people. They really are. Yes, thank you, Kathy, and thank you for coming in and joining for the day, even if it was only for a little bit of time. The good news, like I said, the truck's running again. Not to its best, but it's running. I've got it running. I'm gonna haul some freight, try to get ahead of the game a little bit so that I can try to afford the EGR valves that'll put it back to the right thing else that it's supposed to have, and basically almost practically making it brand new. Should also improve my fuel mileage greatly when I get those, which would mean more money is being put back in the bank instead of spent on fuel. There we go, there we go, there we go. Get around that fool. Outstanding, outstanding. Well, good. Good. Your son's got a job. That's a good thing. Now, hopefully the movie theater doesn't force him to wear a mask the entire time. Because I have seen that up here in the Northwest. You go to a movie theater right now, and yeah, the people coming in to watch the movies and everything don't have to wear masks, but all the employees do. I can't imagine being forced to wear a mask all day at work, let alone what damage it's doing to my lungs and my circulation system. But I wish your son luck and congratulations. Now, so I heard rumors, mind you, just rumors, that certain freedom movements are talking about banning certain live streamers from being there. And they're talking about only allowing certain live streamers and only allowing live streaming at certain times. And other times they're not going to allow live streaming at all. Here's the problem I have with that. You are sitting on public property. You do not have the right whatsoever to tell anybody whether they can live stream or not and what they can or cannot live stream. The only thing you can do is say, hey, I don't want to be on your live stream right now, so they can't put you yourself on it. But that being said, you're also in a public place. You can't stop them. You can't kick them out because it's not your property. It's a major legal issue if you try to do that. We need to celebrate a new job, huh? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me do this. There we go. We got a new job. How's that for celebrating? And somebody needs to get me a new job, because this one's driving me nuts. I'm telling you. Nah, all kidding aside, I love my job. I love what I do. I wouldn't give it up. I used to make a joke years back that If push comes to shove, the only way they're getting the steering wheel out of my hands is if I'm dead. They're going to have to pry it. They're going to have to pry the steering wheel out of my cold, dead hands. All right, Jen, have a safe evening. We might see you on later. Jen, she's a jack of all trades. She's got her hands in many, many pies. I have no idea how she juggles it all, but she does. And she's good at it, so more power to her. Oh, I'm getting a couple of sprinkles. There we go. Put the camera up a little bit. You guys don't need to be staring at the ground. I don't know how that happened. This phone mount of mine on the dashboard is getting pretty loose and weak. I've got it as tight as I can get it, but it's still floppy now instead of solid like it used to be. Now, I have ADHD, I'm telling you. I know I have it. Because there's no way that my kids have it and I didn't have it. But that's beside the point. When I was young, I was considered extremely hyperactive. But I've never actually been diagnosed with it, but I know it's got to be a thing in me. Because my children are just like me. But they're labeled as ADHD, so taken any medication for it, never needed it, at least not in my opinion. What was that? I gotta check a text real quick. If I lose it, I lose it. I'll start it back up. Okay. All right. Hopefully, I didn't lose everybody there. It was just a quick text that needed to go out. Yeah. So I heard a rumor also that apparently Oreo had smacked somebody in a wheelchair, smacked him in the face. I don't know if it's true or not, but if it is, that's pretty bad. I don't care what that person said. They're in a wheelchair, dude. You're not. They can't get away from you, and they can't fight back with you. You should be man enough to realize that and just walk away instead, if that was true. Oh, you're taking us all to your house, huh? Okie dokie. All right, everybody, we should all feel special. Jen's taking us all home with her. It's going to be one kind of party, I'll tell you. And yeah, if anybody wants to know, after crawling around inside my engine compartment, on top of my engine, beside my engine, every which way around my engine this weekend, I am sore, sore, sore. And I was already sore to begin with because I pulled a muscle on my left side that it's it's up and down between my armpit and my hip on my left side, but it also kind of reaches around a little bit into the belly area and a little bit into my back. And I'll tell you what, it's painful, especially when you cough. If I have to cough or sneeze, oh my God. But I already had that going on before I started trying to work on my truck. I don't know how I pulled that muscle, but I did. And I think probably because of that, that's why I'm sore everywhere after having worked on my truck. So, yeah, those, just so anybody knows, the EGR valves that I need to replace, they're about 500 bucks a piece. I need 2 of them. So we're looking at $1,000 right there. So even though I'm losing turbo boost right now because of those EGR valves, I've got no choice but to try to run and make money. And right now, it's not a good time because there's no freight moving in this. The freight that is moving, the rates are so low, I can't even afford to start my truck. So we may be looking at at quite a while before I'm actually making any money again. And if that's the case, I may need to just take a regular job, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be somebody's employee ever again. I don't want to be treated like junk. I don't want to be under somebody else's thumb. I hate feeling like somebody's breathing down my neck. Okay. All right, Dixie Misty. So you actually sent through the Cash App. That's fine. Yeah. Normally, if anybody's gonna send a donation, if you send the donation to exactly the way it's put out here, if it's my Zelle app, it's my email. If you just put in exactly my email, it's gonna go to the right place. If you put in to the Cash App, put in my Black Wölf Chris, the $ Black Wölf Chris, it's gonna go straight to my Cash App. There's no way to make a mistake otherwise. So if it went to my Cash App, get it, Dixie. Right now because I don't have a strong enough could actually lose the signal completely. Rosie Rowe, or Silly, or Jen. Well, I'm not going to ask Jen. She's driving. Go ahead and put up my Cash App so Dixie Misty can see what it actually looks like, because what she just put up is not me. There you go. $ Black Wölf Chris. That's my Cash App. And the Zelle runs off my email address. Now I wonder, can I do this? All right. Here's a question for you, Silly. I just did something with that comment that you posted that shows my Cash App stuff. Is that pinned to the top of the comments now? I'm trying to learn how to pin things to the top of the comments. It's in the picture, too small to read. Ah. Well, how in the world do I pin it? I'm wondering how to pin it. Anybody know? Can anybody walk me through pinning a comment to the top? Maybe I have to do it straight from the YouTube side. And I'm not running through YouTube. I'm using Prism because I'm on Twitch and Prism at the same time. So, anyway. What is it that everybody wants to see? Mets fan 2022, subscribe to the channel. Welcome, Mets fan. What is it that anybody wants to see for the fight for freedom? And, you know, what is it you want? What is the end result that you want? Oh no, Michael, I don't need 1,000 subs. This is a grandfathered account. See, my original live streaming account was brand new as of this year. But they made a mistake when they stole it and locked me out of it, because it forced me to go back to my original account, which is grandfathered. I can live stream even with just 30 people that are subbed, period. I can do everything because it's a grandfathered account. Oh, okay. That much, because I see like I was watching Wyckoff's earlier today, and he'd been on for a while, and then posted something and then turned around and pinned it up. So I know that him and his wife are side by side all the time, and she could easily have logged in and done it for him. So I guess I'm gonna have to give up power to one of my mods. Let me see. What does that say? You know, this is coming from the Twitch side. Did you know there is a bigger streamer called Big F Wolf, something that's streaming trucking in Sweden? He has a lot of views. No, I didn't know that. And to me, it doesn't matter. He's not Black Wölf. He can stream all he wants. Everybody can stream all they want. It doesn't. Yeah, okay. Too. Yeah. But see, the thing is, he's in a different country. He's not here in America. So, and the other thing is his actual screen name is different than his live stream name. And like I said, it doesn't really matter to me. If somebody else wants to try to take my name and stream, and they get more successful than me, then by all means, more power to them. That's not going to stop me from streaming under my own name that I've got. Honest elections. If you want honest elections, go back and watch my video on hashtag no more third terms, because that's the first place to start with that. And the only way that we are going to make that an actual thing for that, I'm curve. Yeah, YouTube stinks when it comes to music. I don't get it. Anybody and their brother can put up from everybody. I'm live streaming and I get hit with the no. Yep. But the biggest reason we're all on YouTube is because that is where everybody is. That is where the left side, the right side, and the people that are undecided, the people that are all kinds of weird, whatever, everybody that's anybody is watching YouTube. Whether you like it or not, this is where we have to put our voice to be heard by the people that need to hear it. Just like I would love nothing more than to have my music playing right now. But I can't, as long as I'm live streaming. Thank you, silly. So, just so everybody knows, I wanted to make it clear I really appreciate the donations that everybody put forward when I was having the issue with leaking coolant. I don't have that issue now. I got that fixed. By the time all was said and done with buying that little hose that was needed and buying the coolant to put in the truck to refill it, it brought my bank account back. It brought my bank account to where I had $16 left in it. So we're good. We're good. Let me back over. Thank you. Yep. Now, is that Dixie Misty? Did you send it by Cash App or did you send it by Zelle? Because whoever sent by Zelle, somebody else sent. There was somebody that sent by Zelle, and the name on their account that deposited it into my account was Jeff. That's the only payment through Zelle that I got. That's the only donation that came in through Zelle. Everything else came in through Cash App. So if the name on your bank account doesn't start with the name Jeff and you sent to the Zelle, it did not come to me. It went to somebody else. Well, I don't have only $16 left right now. The load that I delivered Friday morning over there in Spokane, I got paid for that this morning. So you take the $16 that was left in the account for the load. So I do have enough money to reside the week, as far as when it comes to eating and other essentials that I go through during the week. But like I said, it was better than having an overdrawn bank account, trust me. Because that little hose was almost $400. It was like $380 here for that little freaking hose. And then I had to spend another $120 on coolant. Oh, the other platform that I am using other than Twitch is YouTube. Silly, got a guy in there asking, can you give him a link to this live from the YouTube side over there in Twitch so that they can see me over here so that they can interact with everybody else. Yeah, Rosie, 120 on coolant only gets me 6 gallons of coolant. Just so you know, this truck holds 14 gallons. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to plug that in. Let's see. Yeah, see, normally my Twitch side is a reserve. So, like, if my YouTube side crashes, the Twitch side doesn't most of the time. So people can go over there onto the Twitch side and tell me, hey, your YouTube side crashed. So I can get it put back up as quick as possible. So I got 3 people in my Twitch. One of them's probably Silly. I don't know if Silly's already dropped the link to my YouTube over there, but I wish she would. Or Rosie Rowe. I think Rosie Rowe knows how to get over there and drop my link for YouTube. There we go. Now I've got power going back into my phone. Oh, you found me. Okay, good. Yeah. Normally my Twitch is just a backup so that, like I said, if the YouTube side crashes, which it does a lot, especially all the time. But that being said, the Twitch side, the video is clearer and the sound is clearer. Deborah Montgomery, no subject. I'm going to have to check the emails later. I'm pretty sure Deborah's one of the viewers. Ah, okay. So Dixie Misty, your name is Deb. Deb or Debbie or Deborah. Okay. Gotcha. What do you prefer to be called, Dixie Misty? Is it Deb, Debbie, or Deborah? Or just Dixie Misty? Which one do you prefer? Debbie, okay. All right. Good. And forgive me, but for a second there, I felt like I was asking somebody what their pronouns were. You know, I feel like Trench right now. My pronouns are reloading ammo, 338 Lapua, and freedom, freedom, freedom. No content on my email. It said there was no subject. It said there was no subject in the subject line. Hang on a second, I'll double check and see what it said. you didn't put anything in the subject line, but there is an attachment that I can look at later. If I spend too much time looking at it, it will crash the YouTube side. So I need to dig out my old phone and put it on the... I don't know if I can run my old phone on my hotspot at the same time that I am live streaming. I don't know if I can do that without killing the live stream, because it might be sucking up too much data. But one of the things I want to do here in the future is get some... one of the things I want to do here in the future is get like a GoPro, a wireless GoPro, so I can have that GoPro sitting up and live streaming while I'm doing the whatever I want on my phone itself. I also want to get a GoPro set up on... I'll get a harness and a special setup with a GoPro on Sid and get Sid his own YouTube channel. Did you tell your son I was blowing the train horn in celebration of his job? We have Quillups. That must be the person that was sitting over there in Twitch. Nice to see you over here on the YouTube side. So we do a little bit of political talk here. We talk about the fight for freedom that is going on worldwide, not just here in the States or in Canada. This actually is a worldwide movement for the betterment of humanity, for better treatment for all people in humanity, period. And it's global. It's not just here. So we talk about that. We talk about things that we're doing to fight for the freedoms that we need, want, and deserve, and that we already had but have been taken away. Our government now is at a point where their overreach is so extreme, it is scary. And we are only 2 steps away from becoming China. That doesn't make me nuts. That doesn't make any of us nuts. That's just stating the facts. Everybody can try to cite progress, but I'm sorry. If progress means giving up my rights, forget it. I'm not giving up my rights for your progress. Well, thank you. Thank you. Quillups, in my YouTube, there is a video titled #No More Third Terms. You should really, really share that one everywhere. Go ahead and watch that one, and if you agree with it, share it everywhere. It's called #No More Third Terms. Anyone in here can type it in exactly like it looks for you so you know what you're looking for. Matter of fact, Silly just posted a direct link to it. Hashtag no more third terms. That means do not vote for any politician, no matter what side they're on, no matter how good they seem to be doing in their position. Do not vote for them if they have had 2 or more terms. It is time to stop career politics, and it is time to send a clear message that we are the term limit. It's time to send the clear message that they need to start listening to the people instead of the lobbyists' money and the outside interest money. They're supposed to be there representing the people, not representing the lobbyist. In other words, they work for us. Now, coming through these next couple hills, my signal will probably get really spotty. I might lose it. If I do, I will reset it once I get into Ellensburg in about 20 minutes. Getting some more raindrops. Yay! Anything you can do is more than welcome. You know, just sharing out my content and sharing out my YouTube, the link to my YouTube channel, sharing it out everywhere you possibly can all the time. That helps. Spreading it, you know, the word of mouth. Everything gets passed by word of mouth a lot better than it does by advertisement. So, hey, Silly, do you have or Rosie Rowe or Italian Princess? If you've got information on how to get pocket constitutions, go ahead and pop that up there. Because I'm a firm believer everybody should have at least one pocket constitution. I also firmly believe, like myself, I have a pocket constitution in the truck with me right next to my right leg at all times. When I'm in my car, I've got one right next to my right leg at all times. When I'm on my motorcycle, it is sitting there in the packet that holds underneath my seat, that holds all my insurance information and all of that stuff. You know, whatever vehicle I'm in, I've got one on me at all times. I've got one next to my front door at the house. I've got one everywhere I go. Just like, you know, if you're out and driving around and you get pulled over and an officer decides to try to tell you that there is something that you have to do, or something that, or basically that something you did wrong, you can pull out that Constitution and show them exactly where they are wrong. If they're if they are trying to trample on your rights that are granted by the Bill of Rights and the U.S. Constitution, if they are going against that in any way, shape, or form, you can whip that out and show them where they're wrong. Is that any better? I held my signal all the way down to the bottom and all the way back up. That's not normal. It again at the bottom of this one. So we'll see. Why in the hell did you fly around me? To cut me off and come to a stop on the side of the road. Wow. So one of these days, we're going to have to get everybody together all under one event at one point in time in one place in this country. Let's see if we hold our signal on the way up of this one. I don't know. The reason I'm not talking too much right now about anything important is because I have a feeling I'm going to start talking about something important and then I'm going to lose my live stream and nobody will hear what I had to say. Oh, how it is. Are we all still there? We got one more big hill up ahead, and then we should be good for a signal for a while. How did my cruise control get set up at 70 something? That's weird. Must have happened when that guy cut me off after passing me so that he could pull over. Come on. Well, I guess not. Okay. You're not going to let me over. That's fine. I'll just pinch you off behind the Penske truck here. Now I can get over. All right. Ah, okay. Well, we'll see you on later on, Rosie Rowe. Because I know you got to get dinner ready for your mom. But once we get up over this hill, we'll start talking about important stuff if there is any to talk about. Like, oh, I don't know. Well, what does everybody think about? What does everybody think about Pelosi taking Air Force One over to Thailand, and the threat that China put out? In my opinion, it would be a win-win. That's my opinion. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. It's interesting. I can come through going this direction and I hold my signal and the live stream stays up. But if I go through the other direction, I lose my signal for most of it. Yeah, because I'm on a trucker's diet. You know, it's all garbage food out here for truck drivers. No, she isn't in a position to represent the U.S. I'm sorry, she's not the president. She's not the vice president. She's just the crypt keeper that seems to be sitting on a throne. If she's unable to return, it's a win. It's a win for the people of the U.S. It's a win. Yes, it would be a sad tragedy, but it's a win. All right, there we go. Oh, everybody gets a visit from the Men in Black. Oh. Hey, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about it, silly. They aren't all they're cracked up to be. I mean, they've been to my house 3 times in the last couple of months. So, you know, they've gone from being one of the most revered law enforcement agencies in the country to nothing but a political weapon. Nobody trusts them anymore. I wonder why. No law enforcement agency should ever be used as a political weapon, nor should they allow themselves to be used as one. They are here for the people and for the Constitution. They are not here for the government. They take an oath to that. And they seem to have forgotten it, just like all our politicians seem to have forgotten it. It is the same oath that every one of us veterans took when we became a person in the military. When we signed up for whatever branch we signed up for to serve in the military, we took that oath, every one of us. And not any of us have ever had it taken away. Once you take the oath, you take it for life. You're not just taking it for however much time you serve. You're taking it for life. You know, it's just one of them things. And it is sad to see so many people across so many different agencies and across so much of the politics that have forgotten the oath that they take. And what's really sad is those politicians have to retake the oath every few years. And yet they still forget it. It's like it doesn't mean anything. There is no honor left in politics. It's Brandon. Rosie Rowe, it's Brandon. Pelosi needed to be removed 40 fucking years ago. Excuse my language. Sorry, I normally don't cuss. At least not on my live streams. I am a trucker. I'm ex-military. I do have a very bad potty mouth kind of in real life, but I try to keep it away from the live streams. But in that particular instance, that word was definitely needed for that. And heck, Pelosi's been sitting in there so long, even the crypt keeper is jealous of how old she is. Welcome to Ellensburg, Washington area. And if you look at them mountains ahead, we still have snow on them.
In 1 3/4 miles, keep left to I-90 West.
Yeah, Pelosi's so old, she still has, she can't even keep her dentures in place. Every time she talks, it's like her dentures are going to fly out of her mouth. I'm betting her dentures are remotely controlled and they're actually doing the talking. Hello, Slim. How are you? So this morning, first thing I saw when I got up was I was watching Steve Oatley for a second because he was doing this thing about the mass shootings that happened this weekend. Here's what's funny, okay? About 20 years ago, you needed at least 8 dead. 8 people had to be shot dead and many more wounded in order for it to be considered a mass shooting. But today, you only need 3 people to be shot at in order to be considered a mass shooting. So, that's how mass shootings have gone on the rise. They still existed even back then. It's just about the numbers. It's about how they view the numbers. And the areas they're talking about had the mass shootings, well, gee, they've always had major gang violence in all of those areas. There were over 13 mass shootings this weekend alone, supposedly. And most of them were gangland drive-bys. I'm sorry, doesn't matter how you play it, you ain't coming for my guns. Because guess what? Those people that are performing those mass shootings are still going to get their hands on them. And people like you and me that are honest, hardworking, legal citizens, upstanding citizens that have the right to carry, we're not going to be allowed to have them. The criminals will have them. The law enforcement will have them. The political weapon of the alphabet soup will have them. But real, honest people in this country will not. I don't think so. I'm not playing that game. I don't care how you want to spin it. And you know, be careful about that, because guess what? The House of Representatives this weekend, I think it was Friday, they passed their gun ban bill, which literally makes almost every single gun in the country, regardless of whether it's a pistol or a rifle, it literally bans everything. There are certain ones that you can still legally have, and it's banned to Senate, and then it has to hit, you know, the demander and thief's desk and get approved or not. But that bill in itself is wrapped up so badly in constitutional violations. Every single bit of that bill violates the Constitution in so many ways. So even after it gets passed, it's going to take some time for something to happen, and then it ends up going through the court systems and getting up to the Supreme Court. Once it gets up to the Supreme Court, then we're going to end up with all kinds of injunctions and everything that put it on hold and whatnot until they come up with a decision on whether it's constitutionally legal or not. But in the meantime, we're all hanging in the balance, because if they pass that all the way through, you are going to have jackbooted thugs on everybody's doorstep to take their guns. The Second Amendment doesn't allow it, but it's going to happen. And the sad thing is, when they do, they are violating every one of your rights to do so. But they are going to do it. The only thing that keeps that Constitution sitting where it is, the only thing that keeps the people safe from their own government, is the Second Amendment. The only thing that protects the the Constitution at all is the Second Amendment. And that is why they are pushing so hard of the ability for regular legal citizens, honest, non-criminal, law to keep them from having guns. Because once they don't have guns, there's nothing stopping them from wiping everything out and turning themselves into dictators or kings and queens, rulers, princes and princesses, sitting on their thrones telling everybody else what they can do and what they can't do. And they should be scared, because the long-standing statement made by the Emperor of Japan, when he was asked why they did not invade America during World War II, all they did was hit Hawaii. Okay, they bombed Hawaii, but afterwards the Emperor was asked why they did not invade or even attempt to invade America itself. He said, because there is a gun hiding behind every single blade of grass. And that is true. That is a million times more true now than in the past. And that's why nobody has ever successfully tried to invade the U.S. 1. 2. Is working so hard ability for us to have that right in the first place. No, if they were to trample right over the top of us, that Second Amendment, those guns, would be pointed at them. They know it, and they're scared of it. That's why they're trying to get rid of them, because they are about to try to roll right over the top of us. Hell, they already are rolling over the top of us, and most people in this country just haven't realized that that's what's going on. But see, this whole pandemic thing, especially, during the last election, when we saw all of the peaceful protests, peaceful my butt, when we saw all of gun sales went, and here's the reality of it. Most of those gun sales were not sales to people that were all conservative or Republican. Most of those gun sales were to people who have been liberal and democratic for so long. And now, because they had to go and get those, because they were in fear for their lives because of where they live and what was going on around the country with all these peaceful protests, all the looting and the rioting and the burning and destruction. Yeah, peaceful, sure. All of those new gun owners that happen to have been liberal are about to be told that they can no longer have them. And we still have these peaceful protest people running around the country. Yeah. They're going to be in for one heck of a fight. Hello, Shirlene. Fire danger, do not park in tall grass. Yeah, well, duh. That's like a given. Anybody with any common sense knows that, right? Another thing that gets me is this AB5, California AB5. California passed it. What it does is it makes everybody that works on a 1099 illegal in California. No more working on a 1099 at all in California. And that means people like me who happen to be owner operators, we can't operate in California anymore at all. So, that doesn't just mean trucking. That means your roofers, your plumbers, your house builders, your lawn care people, everybody that might work on a 1099, everybody is now illegal in California. That includes the farmers, because all the farmers work on 1099s. And the scary thing is, there is a bill sitting on the floor at the House right now for them to start voting on, called the Pro Bill, which is literally an identical carbon copy to AB5. So they're about to try to take it national. You do that, and you literally close the coffin on the U.S. economy. These are the things that we are fighting against. We're still in a state of national emergency. For what reason? We're fighting against that. The Emergency Powers Act is still in place. We're fighting against that. When you put the Emergency Powers Act in place and couple it with the Patriot Act, now anybody and everybody that might stand up and have a voice that differs from the U.S. government's voice is now considered a domestic terrorist, and for any reason, any time, they can choose to just come in and make you disappear without any legal due process. In other words, right now, even though you think you have all your constitutional rights, if the government says you don't, then you don't. That is what we're fighting against. The Chinese coming in and buying up millions and millions of acres of farmland in this country. Hell, Bill Gates coming in and buying up millions of acres of farmland in this country. What are they going to do with it? What does Bill Gates know about farming? I mean, Bill Gates just bought like thousands and thousands of acres in North Dakota and South Dakota of farm. What is he going to do with it? He's a computer nerd. He's a computer nerd with farmland. You've got all of these other countries like Russia and China coming in and buying up all of our natural resources. Just like when Hillary Clinton turned around, literally gave the Bundy Ranch in Nevada, gave that uranium, did a company called Uranium One, literally off of their land. Bundy's off of their off of it because the uranium underground was more valuable to her, so that she could sell it to Uranium One, which is a Russian company. wind and solar farms. I don't know if you can see them off to the right, but there's windmills over here. Some of them are turning, some of them are not, and they're moving very slow. When they're moving that slow, they're actually burning fuel in order to move. The wind is not making them move at that slow a pace. So they really are, they're generating electricity, yes, but they're using fuel to do it. So what's the point? Oh, excuse me. Right. You know, all of the accusations that Trump was going to put us in bed with China, he was going to put us in bed with Russia, he was going to put us into a nuclear war with Korea. Wait, none of that ever happened. The only one keeping them at bay in the first. Now that claimed he was going to that Trump was going to be the cause of all that, we have them in office, and guess what? They're the ones bringing all that about. They're the ones that put us under the thumb of Russia when it comes to our fuel, and China. They're the ones that our resources and everything else to China and Russia. They literally are crushing us. The Yep, they're all treasonous traitors, every one of them. And it's not just the Dems, it's every single politician that has been in office for 2 or more years. I mean, 2 or more terms. Period. Every one of them. Because you take a look at the left side, and they've got these great bills that would be awesome for the people of this country. But they can't get them passed because the right side won't work with them. And then the right side has these great bills that would be awesome for the people of this country. But they can't get them passed because the left side won't work with them. But all of the bills that screw every single American citizen seem to pass through with ease. There is no left, there is no right, there is only one agenda. And they put on a great show to make people think that they're actually fighting against each other in there. But they're not. They're all on the same side. There are no parties. There's only one agenda. That's why we need to stop voting for any politician. I don't care if they're in Congress or Senate, or if they're in your city council or on your school board or wherever. If they have had 2 or more terms, They're done. Don't vote for them anymore. Because they have lost touch with the American people. They don't even know what it is like to live as an American citizen in this country. Me, how in the world does somebody on a congressional salary turn into a billionaire? How does that happen? Now, when I get up into the Seattle area, I'm going to have to buy some oil because I am a little low on oil in the truck. And then I'm going to have to take another look at those EGR valves and see what they're doing. See if they're holding up. Because I did a little hillbilly work on them, you know what I mean. But I'm not getting as much boost as I should be getting from the turbo, which means I am leaking exhaust out of them even now. Yep. Yeah, it is a beautiful view. You're hearing every word I say, but the view is distracting you to the point that, yeah, okay, he's talking, but oh my God, it's so beautiful. Yep, I feel you. I feel you. I feel like that all day long everywhere I go. It doesn't matter whether I'm staring at barren flats or grasslands or rolling hills or mountains. Everywhere I go is beautiful. I'm always in awe of what nature has provided. Always in awe. Ay, 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 ay. I would rather be out fishing right now. But the way the economy is right now, I can't afford to. Just like,
dead at the moment. So we're trying to see if my Bluetooth will work. without a doubt, it is going to crash. With all that stimulus money that was shoved out there, and most of it was put in the hands of big businesses. You got all that stimulus money. You got all the market about to crash. Turn. We've got the second term of GDP being extremely weak. GDP has been in the negative for the second term in a row. That normally is the first describing characteristic of a recession. Now, that being said, when you go three terms, if this third term the GDP is still in the negative, there will be no doubt we are not in a recession. We are literally in a depression. And this depression that we are headed towards at light speed, this depression is going to be worse than any in history. Because it is not just going to be here in the U.S., it is going to be worldwide. It is going to crush the economy of the U.S., and then every other economy around the world will fall. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're headed towards right now at light speed. So how do we band together, everybody, under one roof, and scream for freedom, and pull our government's chain and say no more? How do we get the people of this country to drop their egos, drop their misconceptions and preconceptions about other people? Whether you like the person standing next to you or not doesn't mean anything in this fight. It doesn't. It truly doesn't. The only thing that should matter right now is the fact that you are both standing on the same line, demanding the same thing. You both want the same thing in the end. You need to drop your BS and work together. Period. We need 100% unity, and we need everybody to sit down and find common ground and use the common ground to move forward, because that common ground is the only thing that is going to save us. It's the only thing that we can move forward on, and it is the only thing that is going to bring us back in the right direction. Unity, 100%. It is what's needed. Trying to fix my mic still. That's right. It is the same. Now, will it stay on if I plug it in? Yes. No, it did not. Well, maybe it did. Well, that's good. It's charging and on at the same time. I think you guys can hear me better now. I just need to see where I can hook it up to. Maybe if I hook it
There. All right, testing, testing. Yes, that should be a lot better now. Trying to do all this and drive at the same time.